Hi guys, welcome back and welcome to the very last video of user experience. It's been a very long journey, but here we are. So in today's video we will look at the 5 last UX evaluation techniques, and we'll look at audience, time on page, behavior, goal conversion rate, and heat maps. With audience, you basically just use Google Analytics to sort of group your users in terms of commonality or similar characteristics that they have. So it's gonna give you information on users that you group together based on any combination of attributes that may be meaningful to your business. And some of the things that you can use to categorize or group your users would be you could look at them in terms of demographics, in terms of their interests, their location, what kind of device are they using to access your website, and things like that. So what this may mean for you and your business would be, if you find that a lot of your users are in a certain category, then you'd want to market similar products to them, or you'd want to provide certain items or whatever that you're doing on your website for that specific group, so you can increase your overall conversion rate or the success of your website. Time on page is also called the average session duration, and it basically looks at the amount of time that someone spends on that particular page of your website. But it depends on the context of your website. So for example, if your website is about blogging and you have a longer duration for a blog, then that would mean that your audience or your users are spending time reading your content of that blog. But then if the duration is short and you're a blogger, then you should be a bit worried and you should consider changing some stuff on your website. The behavior is basically just that. The behavior, it tells you about the user's journey or the user's behavior as soon as they land on your site. So it actually gives you insights about the steps that they take when they land on your website. What do they do? So it could look at things like which page do they land onto, what other pages did your users visit, did they do what that page is intended for them to do, or did they do what the system is intended for them to do, did the same user visit that page multiple times? If yes, then you are starting to maintain your returning users basically. And basically you can use all this information to optimize the user's journey to be meaningful in a way and logical, and sort of like make it more useful for them when they land onto your website. So for example, if a lot of users are visiting your website via a certain device, then you can sort of change the interface and make it and design it in a way that it accommodates that kind of a device. Goal conversion rate, or just conversion rate, is a very useful tool for you to assess how well your system is performing. So it basically just it tells you how good or how successful your site is. So it basically looks at whether your users are doing what you want them to do on that specific system. Are the users using your site for its intended purpose that you designed it for? If yes, then the system is meeting the business objectives and the user objectives or the user needs. So basically what it does is it looks at the percentage of visitors that are completing a desired goal, which is a conversion, out of the total number of all visitors that are visiting your website. And a high conversion rate basically means that your website is very successful. It's an indicative of a successful marketing, or that your web design is well designed, or that people like what you're offering. So basically you have a lot of users that are actually using your system for what they're supposed to use it for. So you'd want to aim for a very high goal conversion rate, so at the end of the day both the business needs and the user needs are met. The last UX evaluation tool that we'll look at is the heat maps. So heat maps are basically color-coded graphical representation of data that represent different values. So different colors mean different things. And heat maps are usually used to show how your users are engaging or interacting with your web page or their behavior on that specific web page. And the advantage of using heat maps is that it helps designers understand large amounts of data without having to delve further down into the raw data itself. And heat maps can tell you a lot about your users' attention, where they are focusing their attention on when they visit your website, or the content that your users find most interesting, or the bad things, whatever the case may be, their attention, where they're focusing most on. Or it can also show you their engagement, what elements on that specific page are they engaging with the most, or their interactions, what buttons are they clicking the most, and how likely are they to like navigate throughout through the website itself. And an example of a heat map is shown there on your right hand side, where a red color means a lot of your users are engaging with your content, whereas gray means not a lot of people are engaging with your content. And that brings us to the end of UX evaluation and to the end of the entire UX videos. I hope you guys found all these videos very useful if you watched all of them. They're a bit long and a lot, but I hope you found them very useful. Please don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video, which won't be UX related.